Hello, word nerds, and welcome to the dictionary, hosted by me, an old wizard named Spencer. This is episode F154, and we are going to jump into the words, and the first word is a very long word. It's two forms of this word. What is the word, you might be asking? It is the word focus, F-O-C-U-S. First form of focus is a noun from 1644, number 1A. Here we go. Let's get into focus. Number 1A, a point at which rays, like light, heat, or sound, converge, the rays converge, or from which they diverge or appear to diverge. But specifically, the point where the geometrical lines or their prolongations conforming to the rays, diverging from or converging toward another point, intersect and give rise to an image after reflecting by a mirror or refraction by a lens or optical system. I don't even know how to respond to that. That was lengthy. That was so lengthy. This is where the rays are coming together or going away from each other, right? Yeah, that's what it is. The focus point. We're not going to see focus point here, but we know that it's the focus, the point of the focus. So examples of those are light, heat, or sound. Let's see. For instance, in sound, the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. I think it's now called the Griffin Museum. I don't know if they still have this, although I think they should. They have a parabolic chamber, kind of, where you can, it's all based on ovals and how there's two focus points in an oval, because if you bounce a sound or a light or something from one point to another, it's always going to go back to those two focus points. And there's two focus points because it's an oval. And if it were a circle, like on my shirt, it would just be one focus point. But so the very cool thing about this is that if you stand on one of those points in this sort of parabolic thing, and somebody else stands on the other point, and you're each looking away from each other, you're looking into this curved plastic thing, and the sound bounces off that and probably the walls and bounces right back to the other person. And you're like 20, 30 feet apart from each other, and you can hear them perfectly. It's this crazy, weird thing. So that's just an example of these rays bouncing around and going to the focus. Lots of hand gestures there. All right, I'm not even going to go back to that definition. It was too much for my brain to handle. 1B. A point of convergence of a beam of particles. A point of convergence of a beam of particles. And examples of those particles are electrons. The electrons. So the electrons are coming off of a beam and they converge to the focus. Number 2A. The synonym is focal length. The length of what you're focusing on is a certain distance away, and that point is the focus, and it's a length away. A length away? I don't know. Number 2B, adjustment for distinct vision. Also, the area that may be seen distinctly or resolved into a clear image. And yeah, that's a weird way to word an image coming into focus. Adjustment for distinct vision. You have to adjust the lens to see the vision, to see the distinct vision of the thing that you're looking at. Also, the area that may be seen distinctly or resolved into a clear image. So once you focus it, that image is the focus plane that has been resolved into a clear image after you focus the lens. Sometimes I need to focus my eyes, and I need to get my new glasses someday. My glasses! Number 2C, a state or condition permitting clear perception or understanding, as in, tried to bring the issues into focus. What are the issues? Let's find them all and put those on the table. These are the things that we really should be focusing on, not those other things. Number 2D. The synonym is the 6C definition for the word direction, as in, the team lost focus. They got so distracted by the people in the stadium and the lemonade seller and the beer seller and the hot dog seller. They were all over the place, all over the field. Some were going that way, some were going this way. They lost focus. It's very sad. Number 3, one of the fixed points that with the corresponding directrix defines a conic section. Something about cones and directrixes? I'm not sure about this one. Number 4, a localized area of disease or the chief site of a generalized disease or infection. Where is the focus of your pain? Where is all of this happening? What's the focus of your disease, your situation? It's on my earlobe. Can you fix my earlobe? Number 5A, a center of activity, attraction, or attention, as in, the focus of the meeting was drug abuse. Well, I was thinking maybe this is more a physical place of focus, like, oh, this is where all the people are focused, the town square, the boardwalk with the carnival. No, this one, the example at least, is talking about the focus of the meeting was drug abuse. I have called you all here today to talk about how I am not abusing drugs, but I would like to. No, that's a joke. Ha ha. The center of activity, attraction, or attention. Yeah, what's the center of attention? What is the thing we're talking about? Today's episode of the dictionary, the focus is focus. Number 5B, that's where we're at, 5B. A point of concentration. Just whatever you're concentrating on, that's your focus. When you meditate, you try not to really have a focus. A lot of people will say a mantra or something in their head, and I think that that's a really good, you're supposed to sort of focus on that, but it's usually like a gibberish word. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just a thing for you to focus on, so you don't think about all the other stuff in your head, which is really hard to do. But then eventually, as you're focusing on this nonsense thing, you start to just forget about it and forget about everything and go into a zone of meditation. But also, I think I have to say, like, I try and meditate almost every day, at least once, which I should be doing twice. But if you are nervous about this meditation thing, don't be, because all it is just sitting quietly. That's really all it is. Just if you want to focus on something while you meditate, that's cool too. It's just a time to kind of zone out and not really think about stuff, or think about stuff. Okay, now we have number 6, the place of origin of an earthquake or moonquake. I did not expect to see moonquake there. I mean, I guess the moon has, quakes. We can't call them earthquakes because they're not on Earth at that point. But they have quakes. The people up there in the moon, they have quakes. So where this earthquake is coming from, what was the focus of it? When you see a map on the news of this earthquake, there's always like a bullseye point, and then there's like circles that are concentric circles that are coming out of that to show, how it affected the surrounding areas. And it was less over here, but it was really strong at the focus. And these are the areas that are going to get the aftershocks and stuff like that. And you don't want to be sitting on the focus of a moonquake, because then you might fall into the moon. Number 7, directed attention. The synonym is emphasis. That's it for that one. Directed attention. Where is your attention going? What are you emphasizing on? Right now, as with most mornings of my life, that camera is my focus. Staring right down the barrel of the camera. Focusless. That is an adjective, and there's a phrase, in focus. In focus means having or giving the proper sharpness of outline due to good focusing. Such a funny way. Is it in focus? Yeah, it's in focus. What's the definition? It's just in focus. Oh, I know what in focus means. It means having or giving the proper sharpness of outline due to the good focusing or due to good focusing. Cameras these days have a very nice feature that will help you to see if something is in focus. Sometimes you can zoom in on the screen to see it all up close. That helps. But also they have a feature called, what's it called? It probably is different on different cameras. But it will look for points of contrast. And if there's a real clear point of contrast, it's sharp, then it will put a little line on the screen to show that that is in focus. And I have to use that a lot. So we have another phrase, out of focus. What do you think that is? Based on in focus, this is going to be the opposite, out of focus. It means not in focus. My hand in the video is not in focus because it is not on the focal plane. It is not in focus. It's out of focus because my fingers, the edges of my fingers are a little blurry. But my face is sharp as a tack, but not my brain. All right, let's make a sound effect. It's going to be zoom. Now we have the second form of focus. This is a verb from 1775, starting with transitive 1A. To bring into focus. Hey, camera person, focus! Focus! Why is that not in focus? Can you please do the action of focusing? I would like it to be in focus. Number 1B. To adjust the focus of as the eye or the lens. Well, the eye, I mean, you can try and focus on a thing. If you have bad eyes like me, you might gotta bring it forwards and further back to find it in focus. You were trying to focus the book. If I go real close to the book, that's not in focus. But if I go back here, maybe a little bit, that's maybe a little bit more in focus. And right here, it's just focused enough. I have focused my eyeball. Number 2, to cause to be concentrated, as in focused their attention on the most urgent problems. What are the most urgent problems? Well, right now, I would say this American government is the focus of our problems right now. Just yesterday, as I'm recording this, there were like millions of people around the world who were protesting this situation, and I was not able to go because I had other things that I had to be doing. But I'm glad that there were so many people out there focusing their attention on these terrible humans. I think that's fair to say. Number 3 is to bring to a focus, and the thing that you are bringing to a focus is light rays. The synonym is concentrate. Concentrate the light rays. The what is the thing in the thing? The planet blaster in Star Wars. Oh my gosh, what's that thing called that they're in? Well, all of the light beams focus. They focus together into one big beam, and then they blow up a planet. The Death Star is what it's called. Wow, can you imagine somebody naming a big space station the Death Star? We want to murder millions, if not billions, of people with our star of death. The Death Star. Okay, now we have intransitive for the verb of focus, starting with number 1, to come to a focus. This synonym is converge. Number 2, to adjust one's eye or a camera to a particular range. Has to be a certain range away from the thing. Number 3, to concentrate attention or effort. Focusable is an adjective. Focuser is a noun. And I have been the focuser so many times in my life. Maybe like 10 or thousands. I don't know. Zoom. Next, we have focus group, 2 words, noun from 1985. A small group of people whose response to something is studied to determine the response that can be expected from a larger population. And examples of what they are studying, what this small group of people is responding to, could be a new product or a politician's image. And of course, there are so many other options, but those are a couple of big ones. What does the focus group have to say about this new bag of chips? Wow, it's a bag. Do you like the taste of the chip? Do you like the crunchiness of the chip? Do you like the branding of the chip? The design of the bag? Do you like the smell? What is it that you like and don't like about these chips? Because we have tried to gather a average random mix of humans, and then depending on what you say, or whatever you say, we can assume that the larger population of the world, or the area that we're selling these chips, they will agree with you. And so if you don't like it, we're gonna sell it anyway. All right, that's focus group. I don't think I've ever been part of a focus group. I don't believe. Have I? I don't think so. I mean, I've taken like those tests, you know, they call you up or you do something online, but I don't think I've ever sat in a group and talked about a thing. Missed opportunity. Next is fodder. 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 Fodder, can you hold my hand as we cross the street? Oh, thank you, fodder. This is a noun from before the 12th century. Number 1, something fed to domestic animals, but especially coarse food for cattle, horses, or sheep. Do they like the coarse foods? They don't like soft and smooth foods? Do they like the oats and the hay and the grain? Maybe stuff like that? It's just fodder. By the way, I did not talk about the etymology for focus, but we did actually see a little bit of it in the previous episode. It is a Latin word. They would have said focus, and it means hearth, like the hearth of a house. Everybody comes to gather around the hearth. So it's the focus of the house. All right, back to fodder. Number 2 is inferior or readily available material used to supply a heavy demand, as in fodder for tabloids. Those paparazzis are always looking for fodder for the tabloids. They're walking around taking pictures of the famous people wearing their clothes and eating their food and on vacation because they're just looking for random stuff. What? Stuff that's available because of heavy demand, because the people want to know what the celebrities are doing. And these paparazzi will get paid good money for that stuff. Don't love that situation. Fodder is also a transitive verb, and I'm curious about this etymology. It is from the Old English fodor, akin to the Old High German foetar, which means food. So that's, you know, the animals' food, the domestic animals, the horses, the sheep, the cattle. That makes sense. Their food is fodder. But then it became this, you know, this other things. People are demanding it, so you got to give them the fodder. I guess it's like food. It's sustenance. It's, you know, to keep the fans happy. Give them some fodder. Give them some coarse food about their favorite celebs. Next is fogel. Yeah, fogel. Fodgel, adjective from 1724. This is Scottish, and the synonym is buxom. Buxom. The origin is unknown, so I think of buxom as voluptuous, maybe a little bit on the larger side, larger than something else. Busty comes to mind, I think, when people use the word buxom. You know, there's a lot of possibilities for this word. And I guess the Scottish people say fogel. Now wait, it's an adjective, so they're describing maybe they're describing a person as fogel. I know a Scottish person, and I should ask him if if he ever uses this fogel word. Next is foe, F-O-E. Noun from before the 12th century. Number 1. One who has personal enmity for another. And, we can sort of guess on enmity. I don't think I could give you a great definition from the top of my head, but I'm going to find an actual definition. Here we go. It's a short one. Enmity is positive, active, or typically mutual hatred or ill will. Now, why does it say positive? Positive, active, and typically mutual hatred. So is it positive hatred, active hatred, mutual hatred, or ill will? So yes, when you have enmity towards somebody, then you are their foe, and maybe they would be your foe too. I think it goes both ways. It takes two to tango. It takes four to foe. I don't know. So yeah, personal enmity for another. Foes. Do you have any foes? I don't think I have any foes. I mean, there are people who I didn't ever really clash, or we clashed. We didn't really get along very well based on, just personalities and stuff. But yeah, I don't think I have any foes. I would rather not have any foes in my life. Number 2A, an enemy in war. Yeah, that's pretty clear. You guys are fighting each other. You're shooting guns at each other. You're trying to kill each other. I would say that's a bit of enmity towards each other. The weird thing about war, though, is that the soldiers are just doing what they're told based on what their government says and thinks. So the people might not necessarily feel like they're foes against the other people, but often they do. Often they're like, yeah, I want to kill those people because they're my foes. I know those guys. Those guys named Joe. He's my foe. All right, number 2B, the synonyms are adversary and opponent. Just on like a sportsy game, one of those games of sports. The other team is your foe because you're trying to beat them. Number 3, one who opposes on principle, as in a foe of needless expenditures. I just oppose your ideas just on principle. I think these things, and you don't, so you are my foe. A foe of needless expenditures. I'm sorry, that example is too smart for me, because I feel stupid. Number 4, something prejudicial or injurious. Got to prejudice towards somebody. Maybe it's injurious to their body or their namesake, whatever. So that's their foe. This word is from Old English fa, which means hostile, akin to the Old High German Gefecht, which means hostile. And so I guess the word foe just means hostile, because if somebody's being hostile towards me, I'm gonna be like, hey, what's going on? Are you trying to be my foe? Are we foes now? What did I do to you? Why are you being hostile towards me? Why did you smack me with your beautiful white glove? Are you trying to throw down, you foe clown? Let's go on. Oh, did I say? Oh no, where are we? Where'd this? Okay, now we gotta go on to FOE, all caps. Abbreviation for Fraternal Order of Eagles. Eagles. The eagles are wearing hats, and they've got brotherly love. Next is this word is spelled fun and pronounced fun. There's a few fun pronunciations. We've got fern. I think you would say fern or farn. Also thun. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Thun. And also feign for some reason. This word is spelled two ways, F-O-E-H-N or F-O-H-N, and on that one, the O has the umlaut, the two dots. So, I'm just going to say fern, I guess. Noun from 1861. This is a warm, dry wind blowing down the side of a mountain. Oh, okay, we're just gonna sit outside. I'll feel the fern. Feel the fern blowing on my face. I'm gonna take a little nap. Ah, what a nice warm dry wind that's blowing down the side of that mountain. This word is from the German word von, which has a capital F. So I wonder, is this a town maybe? It doesn't say. I think they could have put in a little bit more information, but they didn't. Fern. If you are aware of this German word or town, Fern, please let me know. I could look it up. Maybe I will. We'll see about that. Oh, that one is spelled F-O-H-N, if I didn't say. A warm, dry wind. A Fern. Next is foeman. It's foe and man. Noun from before the 12th century. The synonym is the number 2 definition for the word foe, which is right up here. It's an enemy in war. The foeman is the enemy in war, I guess. Foeman, fighter of the other foeman. Now we've got some British words here because they like to spell things a certain way, and we do not judge them for that. We might snicker behind their back, but we do not judge. First, we have fetal and fetus, spelled F-O-E-T-A-L and F-O-E-T-U-S, and those are the chiefly British variations of fetal and fetus without the O. Next is fetid, spelled the similar way as fetal. This is the chiefly British variation of fetid without the O. Fetid. Do they say fetid? I don't know. I think they might say fetid as well. And the last one, it is the prefix foeto or feto, I guess those would be the ways to pronounce that, spelled F-O-E-T-O or F-O-E-T-I. The chiefly British variation of feto or feto without the O. Yep. We got all 3 of those right in a row. So if you don't know what those things are, just go back to the FET section and hear what I gotta say about those. I'm sure it is riveting. All right. It is now time to pick a word of the episode. Today we had focus, group, fodder, fodgle, foe, F-O-E, fern, foeman, fetal, fetus, fetid, and feto or fetty. Let's see. Well, I think I'm just going to pick focus as the word of the episode. I gotta focus. I'm really confused. Focus my thoughts on the one thing I gotta focus on. Focus. It's probably inappropriate of me, but there are sometimes people who will say this word, or I have heard people say this word, who have an accent from another part of the world, and it comes out like, focus. So sometimes when I'm with my coworkers and we're dealing with the camera and focusing, we will say, focus, just because it's funny to an American. And that's it. Oh, but that's it for the words, I should say. But there is a movie section. It is time for the movie section, and I don't know if I wrote this down. Let's see. Where are we? I believe we may have watched 2 movies since the last time I recorded. I think that might be true. Black Bag is the next one that we watched. Black Bag. This was similar but a little bit different to what I thought it was going to be based on the trailers. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, right now, please, right now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it is Michael Fassbender and Galadriel, Kate Blanchett. Plus, there are 4 other main characters, and I did not know that they were going to have such a big role in the movie, and I really quite enjoyed this movie. It was a fun kind of like a mystery. What's another word? There's another word, but yeah, it's like a mystery, trying to figure out what's going on. And yeah, it's a really fun, enjoyable movie, and it's funny and suspenseful and a little sexy at times if you like the sexy stuff. So yeah, Black Bag, go watch it. And that's it. That's everything I got to say to you today for this episode. I got lots of work I got to go do, so I'm going to go do that. And I'm going to end this episode by saying this has been Spencer dispensing really focusedly. He's very focused today. He has been dispensing information. Goodbye.